A scathing new report accuses the San Diego County jail system of failing people with mental illnesses. The report centers around a high number of suicides in San Diego County jails.
Team 10 investigator Adam Rakusin spoke with disability rights group behind this report. And Adam, they called the number of deaths here shocking.
Yeah, and the report says more than 30 suicides since 2010. It uses this graphic that you can see right here to highlight one of the findings, which is that the suicide rates are much higher than the rate of other county jails about the same size in California and jails across the country. The county disagrees.
Most of the people commit suicide in the first 10 days.
That's what Rebecca Cervenak is trying to prevent. She's an attorney with Disability Rights California. On Wednesday, the nonprofit Disability Rights Group released this report, calling into question policies and procedures within the San Diego County Sheriff's Department, specifically related to the jails and inmates suffering from mental illness.
I had one guy that I was talking to through the solitary door, and he said to me, "You're the first person who's looked at me like I wasn't an animal, like you actually saw me."
Cervenak says they started investigating back in 2015. What they found, the number of suicides in jail since 2010 outpaces other county jail systems in the state. Looking specifically at 17 deaths between 2014 and 2016, more than 80% had a clear history of mental health needs, and almost all of them hadn't been convicted. They were still awaiting trial.
I think the rates are alarming, certainly, and the number of suicides, just the raw numbers compared to other counties.
In a two-page statement responding to the report, the county explained significant changes to its mental health program, including doubling its budget for inmate mental health services and approval for money to recruit and hire more mental health professionals to staff for the detention centers, but fired back on the topic of suicides, saying there was only one in 2017. The county brought in its own expert who disagreed, saying you can't conclude that the jails have a crisis by any measure. They argue the method used to calculate suicide rates was flawed, and the suicide rate in San Diego County detention facilities was comparable to other county detention facilities throughout the state.
You know, we can sit here and argue about how we calculate suicide rates, or we can spend our time fixing the problems.
Cervenak acknowledges the county's worked with them to make improvements, but believes there are areas like jail conditions, confinement, and screening that can be improved.
Sheriff's Department has been completely cooperative with our investigation. The mental health leadership especially, I have a lot of faith that they want to move things in the right direction.
And the report also looked at independent monitoring, solitary confinement, and mental health needs. It also made recommendations on how to improve conditions for people dealing with mental illness. To read the full report, the county response, and the expert report, we posted all of that to our website. Adam Rakusin, Team 10.
Adam, thank you. If there is something you want our investigators to look into, send an email to team10@10news.com.